Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. As always, it is very good to see you. India's second longest election, ladies and gentlemen, has drawn to a close finally. It has been an incredible 6 weeks of promises, rhetoric and much name calling. 10% of the world's population was eligible to vote, making this the world's largest and most expensive election in history. It's done and dusted with the last and seventh phase today, and now there's only one question that matters. All of you are asking it. Who is winning? The answer was a foregone conclusion, many said, when the elections began in April. By May, the opposition managed to mount a spunky fight back. But has it been good enough to convert into seats? The answer to that question, ladies and gentlemen, will be clear by 12 noon on 4th of June. But exit polls across networks are speaking to us, giving us numbers as we speak, state-wise and party-wise and alliance-wise. Now, this is an exercise fraught with risk, but broadly, they could give us a picture of what is to come on the 4th. So over the next 2 hours, we are collating data from all the exit polls, about 9 to 10 of them, and giving you what we call a poll of polls. Now, we have broken it down. Of course, the larger picture, then the battleground states, the southern bastions, whether the southern bastions have been breached, and then finally the Hindi heartland. But here is the fact, ladies and gentlemen. Ultimately, the alliance and party that wins needs 272 seats to win, to form the government. And of the 224 seats that the BJP won last time, it had polled more than 50% votes. Plus, there's no anger against Prime Minister Modi on the ground. So you put all these factors together, and I think we have a fair indication of what way India has voted. Let's quickly take a look at the big numbers coming to us, the overall picture to begin with. Let's start with Republic. The first of the bloc has been the Republic twin exit polls. They've essentially done 2 exit polls. Both Matrice and PMARQ have given the NDA 353 plus, which means a clear majority for the alliance. Then there is Jan Ki Baat, again on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, giving the NDA a clear majority, 362 to 392. You have TV5 Telugu, again, it's on your screens, giving the NDA 359. D Dynamic, 371. And again, as I said, Republic PMARC is 359. All these 5 polls, ladies and gentlemen, are giving Prime Minister Modi essentially a third term. Let me quickly introduce my guest to you before we go state-wise. Let's quickly get a comment on the overall picture that we are getting this evening. Thank you very much, first of all, to the 2 guests who are joining us in the studio. Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, senior journalist. Thank you for your time here on Mirror Now. Thank you very much, Ruhi Tewari, senior journalist, writing a book on women voters in India, and they've been crucial here. We'll come to that in just a bit. Anuja Kapur is spokesperson of the Congress party, joining us. Adil Singh Bopari is spokesperson of the Congress. Anuja Kapur is spokesperson of the BJP. I beg your pardon. Hi, Anuja. Good to see you. Itna bada, you'll say, Kamal laga rakha hai piche, and Shreya, you can't see, you're not wearing your chashmas. Maybe that is where the fault was. Aadil Singh Bopari, thank you very much, spokesperson of the Congress party. Susi Ben Shah, spokesperson of the Shiva Sena Shinde faction, is joining us on the broadcast, because the first state that we're actually looking at when we do this state-wise is the state of Maharashtra. Some very interesting numbers from there. And Avinash Adik is the state general secretary, spokesperson of the NCP Ajit Pawar faction, joining us on the broadcast as well. Before I go to the states, Anuja, I think I should just begin with you and start by congratulating you. It seems Prime Minister Modi, at least going by the numbers we have so far overall, is getting a clear third term. You can say, hame to pata hi tha. We told you so.
Jai Shri Ram. This is all the divine, the God, the Lord has done it, blessed us. And it is the Prapanna Pramukh, the people who has been on the ground, who has worked in hand with the chief ministers, with the social activists, NGOs, Modi ji, with JP Nadda ji, with all the chief ministers, with all the ministries, from the below to bottom to the top. It was
Anuja,
a pyramid
what are you
which was
saying?
being set up. We have
You're saying the RSS has won you this election, or Modi ji has won you this election?
RSS, Modi ji, Yogi ji, all are one. We all are together for the development of
Acha.
Bharat. When this chronology comes forward, there
Okay.
is no RSS, there is no BJP, there is no NDA. We all are together looking forward the Viksit Bharat and ek Rashtra, ek Pradesh pe when we are talking about, we're talking about
Take,
the larger concept of development. So this is where the people have voted for the
ठीक है, चलो।
development for Viksit Bharat. And this is what you see. So congratulations to you too.
Okay. Okay. चलिए, Ruhi Tewari. You know, when the election began, everyone said, "Kitna boring election hai." Arey, why are you laughing, Anuja? How do you know who I voted for? We to are a neutral platform. And I started by congratulating you. Ruhi, when we started this election, everyone said, "Kitna boring election hai." Everyone knows who's going to win. It is a foregone conclusion. And then 15, 20 days into the election, we see a fight back, a spunky fight back. Is it your sense then, given the initial numbers that have come to us, there are 5 more exit polls that are to come, and the final numbers, I think, you know, by 9:30 we are in a position to collate everything. But we already have data for 5 exit polls, all of them, given Prime Minister Modi a third term. Has nothing changed since we began the elections in April then? कि माहौल तो खूब बना, हवा भी खूब उड़ी, television studio में debates भी बहुत हुई, but by the end of it, the result has remained the same. Mota mota, that is what has happened.
Right. So, Shreya, see, essentially these are exit polls, right? So let's begin with that caveat that what happens on Tuesday is what eventually matters. But since these are psephologists who are doing, you know, it's a craft, they know what they're doing, let's assume that the larger trend they are talking about is what the trend is going to be on the 4th of June as well. The opposition, the India Alliance, was the fight back on the ground, or was the fight back more in terms of social media, in TV studios, and elsewhere in other platforms which matter less when it comes to electoral results? So I would say, Shreya, that the opposition, the India Alliance, was struggling in many places. Now there are pockets of strength of many opposition parties. There are boroughs of strength, but there is no larger narrative, a pan-India narrative that is strong enough to have posed a very big challenge to the ruling regime. And I think that is what eventually matters in elections now, because these are all elections which are not really about one constituency. These are larger elections about emotions, about 2 blocks, as it were.
There was no pan-India narrative. That's quite clear. Was the pan-India narrative then just Modi? That you're deciding whether you want Prime Minister Modi back, forget the BJP, whether you want Prime Minister Modi back in a third term or not. Ultimately, was that what the voter voted for? Because, you know, I've heard a lot of journalists who went on the ground to say this is a classical Indian election. This is not a 2014 election where people wanted Badlav. They were fed up of Manmohan Singh, Prime Minister Modi, then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, was offering hope, right? 2019 is an election that was almost, you know, an ode to India's martyrs, because Pulwama had happened. After that, Balakot had happened. And this was to tell Modi that, you know, we trust you when it comes to the nation's security. Right. So everyone who came back this time said, this is a, you know, this is a good old classical Indian election being fought on local issues. Is that how it's turned out to be, or has the issue been only one? Modi ko ya jitana hai ya harana hai?
You know, if what the exit polls are saying are the final figures on the 4th of June, then of course, there was a pan-Indian narrative. There was an overarching issue which dominated the elections. And that was whether we want Modi or not, whether we want him for the third term or not. So, if essentially it would be, if these figures hold on the 4th of June, we will say that this was actually a referendum on Mr. Modi.
Hawa thi. I mean, did anyone see a hawa? You were there on the ground. Was there a hawa?
Shreya, if I could just answer the first bit about local issues. So, you know, when you vote in any election, it's like a pie, right? Local issues form a part of the pie. You cannot completely relegate local issues to the periphery. They matter, especially in some states and some constituencies. But the larger share of the pie is about, as Mr. Mukhopadhyay pointed out, whether you want Narendra Modi back in power in 2024 or not. Hawa, I would say the trend, what the exit polls are saying, is largely the trend on the ground.
Okay, I believe we have Mr. Pawan Khera of the Congress Party joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Khera, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing,
Yes,
Mr. Khera?
Good.
You decided against boycotting the exit. You decided against boycotting the exit polls. I wonder why. I mean, you're here now, so it's good
Yeah,
to
we are
see you,
here
but I wonder
because,
why.
yeah, there was a unanimity today when we had a meeting with the India Alliance partners. They all asked us to sort of change the decision, and we agreed. That's what the Gathbandhan Dharma is. And our data from the Janata Ka poll that we did as India Alliance is also out. We are getting 295 seats as an alliance, and we are absolutely confident of our numbers. I don't want to run any other exit poll down, but we all feel that these are Sarkari exit polls as against the public exit poll that we have.
हाँ. चलिए आप इनको सरकारी एग्जिट पोल्स ही बोल लीजिए, but look at the numbers on your screens. How do you react to them? A clear and
Well, I'll tell
absolute
you how I
clear
react.
win for the NDA. In fact, in most of these polls, they are bettering their numbers.
Well, I remember 2004 when I was a Cub politician and you were a Cub reporter. We saw something very similar, in fact, identical. All the agencies gave a clear edge to the NDA government. Same happened in 2009 when they actually believed that we are losing the election, and we know what happened. So this, I would say, is a rerun of what happened in 2004.
Okay, so you're saying ये सारे सरकारी हैं, all these exit polls are sarkari, and come 4th of June, I mean, they will have mud on their faces. Essentially, that is what you're saying. Fine.
I don't
Can I just quickly draw
want
your
anyone
attention
have
to
mud
two
on their
states? We are
faces,
going
but
to.
yes, we are definitely winning.
कोई बात नहीं, multani mitti is good for the face. Good, I mean, it's used as a beauty treatment in many parts of this country. Mr. Khera, I want to draw your attention to two states. These are southern states. The BJP has worked I mean, we'll come to the southern states in just a bit, but since we have you here right now, a quick comment on Karnataka, where the BJP has done fabulously well. In Tamil Nadu, where it seems they have opened their account with not one but two seats. And Kerala, it seems they're getting 1 or 2 seats as well.
Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. And that's why I say
Kerala,
that this is a
Tamil
Sarkari,
Nadu and doing fabulously well in Karnataka as well.
No, I don't think so at all. Neither in Karnataka, nor in Kerala, nor in Tamil Nadu. I don't think BJP will open its account in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, and in Karnataka, they are losing quite badly. I mean, it won't be Prajwal Karnataka for BJP.
I don't even know what to ask you, Mr. I don't know what to ask you, because for every question you are saying these exit poll numbers will not hold. Are you telling me that you don't see Prime Minister Modi, you don't see Prime Minister Modi get a third term? I mean, if he does, he'll be only the second Prime Minister in the country after Jawaharlal Nehru to get one. You don't see that happening on the 4th of June?
No, I am absolutely sure that Mr. Narendra Modi is an outgoing Prime Minister, and we wish him well, good health and long life. And I hope he goes to the Sabarmati Ashram, spends some time there and does some introspection.
अच्छा चलिए, आपने मोदी जी को तो आउटगोइंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर बता दिया. इनकमिंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर, देन हु इज द इनकमिंग प्राइम मिनिस्टर? मिस्टर मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे सिंह, राहुल गांधी?
Let the India Alliance decide at the right time.
अरे but 295 you have already declared for yourself. अब तो you will need to tell us who your prime ministerial candidate is.
Of course we will tell you, but we will decide as an alliance. I can tell you mere man ki baat, but that's not what is important. What is important is what the alliance decides.
नहीं, बता दीजिए, अपने मन की बात ही बता दीजिए.
मेरे मन की बात वही है जो खड़गे जी ने कही.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the moment. Mr. Khera, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast.
Thank you.
You have dismissed all the... Thank you. Good night. Have a good day. You have dismissed all the exit polls that have come to us so far. So thank you very much. That's a first Congress reaction, ladies and gentlemen, that is coming into us. Essentially calling all these exit polls Sarkari polls, which is all very well. And he may have a point. Ruhi has just pointed out that exit polls do have a checkered history. But if overwhelmingly all exit polls are pointing to one direction, Aadil, it tells us where this election is going or has gone.
Shreyaji, these numbers are bogus, and there is a far sinister conspiracy which is underplayed. The BJP wants to psychologically bog down the opposition. This is underplayed. This is typical fascist playbook. You try to present the country with a fait accompli which is furthest from the truth. But let me tell you, the BJP and their acolytes are waiting for a root shock on the 4th. The India Alliance is coming to power. I reiterate what my learned senior, Mr. Pavan Khera Sahab, has said. These are all Sarkari numbers. These are all numbers handed out by the BJP and more particularly Mr. Amit Shah. And you will see, there is groundswell of anger. I'm sure you must have traversed across the country. Do these numbers sit with your own feedback? In Uttar Pradesh, in Haryana, in Rajasthan, in Karnataka, there was palpable anger. Every person was talking about price rise. Every person was reeling under inflation and unemployment. The youth unemployment has never been higher in the history of our country. So these polls just don't sit with the ground reality. That's the point. I ask you, you travel across the country, do these numbers sit with your own analysis?
Well, I'm not a psephologist and I'm not going to hazard a guess. I'm not a betting person, but Mr. Bopari, please help me understand this. How is planting numbers post polling going to help the BJP? I mean, if you want to plant numbers, you plant numbers before voting, right? Before polling. 7th phase of polling is already over. Ho gaya na khatam. Ab why do they need to plant any numbers?
You must understand.
And go for psychological warfare.
I'll respond to that. That's a fair question. We are living in very extraordinary times. The BJP tries to rule this country, and that's what they've done over the past 10 years by shock and awe method. The idea is to psychologically walk down the opposition and to present some numbers which are completely removed from reality. And then the BJP's dirty tricks department and their shenanigans are underway. So that's why the India Alliance and all our workers, all our booth workers, we are very, very vigilant. We are very vigilant when the counting happens. We'll be very vigilant when the numbers are put out. We are monitoring the situation in a very in-depth manner. And therefore, we are confident because our feedback is clear. The India Alliance is winning northwards of 296. And it will be an India Alliance candidate who will be the next Prime Minister of this country. We are confident.
Okay. So,
and all these pollsters, finally,
just stay with us. We have looked.
All these pollsters will have an egg on their face on Tuesday. Because these numbers are completely removed from reality.
We'll see. We'll see. For the moment, we've looked at the overall picture, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, there are still 5 to 6 more exit polls to give us the overall picture. So far, we just have 6. So we broadly know which way this election has gone as far as exit polls are concerned. But let's quickly get down to 2 states where the battle was expected to be the fiercest. This was Maharashtra and the state of Odisha. Let's quickly take a look at Maharashtra. 48 seats here. Can we just put the numbers there? The BJP-led NDA had won 41 seats there in 2019. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Maharashtra. Quickly putting out numbers for Maharashtra there. 48 seats in the state. The BJP-led NDA in 2019 had swept the election with 41 seats. How are they doing now? Just take a look at the numbers on your screens. It's only Jan Ki Baat that is actually stretching the numbers to the 2019 mark. 34 to 41. Otherwise, everyone else giving the NDA say anything between 30 to 41. So today's Chanakya is 33. ABP voter is 22 to 26. In fact, they are giving the India Alliance very good numbers, 23 to 25. Matri is again done by Republic, 30 to 36. They are giving the India Alliance 13 to 19. And Jan Ki Baat, ladies and gentlemen, being the kindest, I think, to the NDA this evening, giving them 34 to 41. 41 is what they had won last time. They're giving the India Alliance 9 to 16. Let me see if I can quickly go across to my guests who are joining us from Maharashtra. Avinash Adik, you're the State General Secretary and spokesperson of the NCP. You could start and then we'll go to our other guests this evening. Go ahead, please.
Good evening to you, Shreya, and good evening to all the people on the panel. I've just seen the numbers that you put out for Maharashtra. I think I would expect a better performance from the NDA. But let's wait till the 4th.
Okay.
The picture will be far more clearer by the noon of 4th of June. I completely agree with you. And I just hope all the spokespersons who come and represent the UPA today, or the India Alliance, they continue to smile on the 4th. We should all take it sportingly. So we should continue to smile. I'm smiling today when then I heard Pawanji.
When you're saying...
Then I heard Adilji, and I'll continue to hear the fourth as well.
No, when you say you expect the NDA to do better,
Yes.
are you expecting it to cross 41? Because the numbers nowhere are suggesting that it is crossing 41. For only one poll right now, Jan Ki Baat is giving you 41, which is what you had last time.
One of the senior journalists on the panel very rightly said that these are numbers given by cephalologists, and one should not get ahead of oneself. It is always prudent and better to wait for the outcome on the 4th. Yes, we have also worked very hard on the ground.
Okay.
We have also traversed the state and gone to a constituency. We are very confident of getting a good performance and good results on the 4th. So, seeing the numbers on the screen, I appreciate the hard work put in by all the people and the pollsters. Yes, I'm expecting slightly better numbers.
Okay, so we've just got the Times Now number as well, the Times Now ETG number for Maharashtra, pegging the NDA at 26. So certainly not going with what you are saying. Also giving the India Alliance 22. Is this going to be even, Stephen? Ruhi, you've traveled to Maharashtra. What do you see? What do you see as the most likely scenario play out? I mean, it seems that the BJP is losing ground in Maharashtra, at least by the numbers that are being put out.
Shreya, I can tell you one thing. The most difficult state to read in this election was Maharashtra. It was a khichdi because everything that could happen in the state in the last 5 years happened. Parties were switched, families fought, factions were created. It is a very difficult state to read. So I don't want to comment on numbers. I would think the BJP, where it's fighting on its own, would do well. Would not do particularly badly. The allies, it's another story because there's a lot of confusion among voters between the two Shiv Senas, between the two NCP. So that is what has made Maharashtra a very difficult election, a very complicated election. The BJP alone, wherever it's contesting, I would say it's not in a very, very uncomfortable position.
Chandrasekhar Jha, your spokesperson of the Shiv Sena UBT faction, any comments on this number? It seems that the India Alliance, at least according to the numbers that we have on our screens right now, and we have at least 5 polls on our screens right now, and let's quickly put them back again. They seem to suggest that the India Alliance has done fairly decently, despite all the khichdi that has pakored in the last 2 years.
जी. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Jha, can you give me a minute then? I think my question I couldn't relay my question to you. Just give me a moment here. I believe Abhishek Manu Singhvi of the Congress Party is joining us on the broadcast as well. I'm going to come back to you. Mr. Singhvi, good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to put the overall picture of the exit polls so far on our screen so that our viewers have a better sense of what we are talking about. Mr. Singhvi, by the looks of the exit polls so far, and we have at least 5 or 6 of them that have put out overall numbers, the picture is not looking very good for the India Alliance. Mr. Modi, by the looks of it, is getting a clear third term, possibly bettering his numbers from 2019.
Well, certainly, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can. Good evening. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Singhvi, I can. Good evening. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay.
I can,
now,
loud and clear.
Certainly from what you say, and if the exit polls are correct, it's very depressing. I have no hesitation in saying that. But I'll tell you, my own understanding is that, of course, the usual caveat that we've had enough exit polls in the past, many, many elections, both assembly and national, where things have gone clearly wrong. But that apart, I think there is an overstatement in a lot of the figures I've seen. I've gone through some of these polls in the last hour and a half, state-wise. Now, of course, the additions or the increments to BJP in the southern states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu are small. But even those small increments add up to 5, 7, 8 seats. I don't accept that. I think they may, in all these Tamil Nadus and the Keralas, maybe get 1 seat. Second, I was in Bangalore some time ago. There is nobody privately, including BJP people, who gave us less than double digit. The worst figure given to me was 8 or 9. I'm giving you the worst figures. I believe that in all the states where I agree that they are the Gujarat model states of the BJP, be it Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, or Gujarat. I believe there again there is an overstatement in the sense that we cannot get 0 or 1 as is being given in all the polls or the major polls. It can't be. I believe, yes, we may not win there. We may not get a halfway mark. But not to give us 25% in these states is, I think, an overstatement in favor of the BJP. I also think that Bihar, they have overstated the Nitish Kumar figure. I'm talking, of course, 1 or 2 polls I saw. I can't say for every poll, but for example, the India Today poll I saw, it was clearly, it seemed to be the Nitish Kumar who is perceived by his contemporaries, his rivals, his compatriots to have been clearly down and out, is given a very high figure. And therefore, I think that the overall thing is not, it's going to be close, but I don't think it's this kind of a, one-way story. The NDA I'm seeing in your chart figures in the 350s. I don't agree with that at all.
But look at the India chart.
I beg your pardon?
125, 154, 154, 141.
It's the same thing.
Because the alliance has just stepped out and said that we are winning 295. Where is that 295 number coming from, sir?
That's the point. You see, that's the point.
Isn't that an overstatement?
What I've said just now is a mirror image. If I'm right in what I've said about the NDA, then correspondingly, the India figure has to change. If you have an overstatement on the NDA side, it's an understatement in your chart on the India side. We have not been, the charts of Paar varieties. We've not been going gung-ho. We have given a calibrated figure. Well, 395 can be 295, can be 290, it can be 285. And we have been, I think, fair in saying that the NDA figure may add 20-25 more to them to about 240, 235, 240. But to suggest that, the figures on the NDA column are so high, and I see just now in front of me in your chart, it's absolutely unacceptable. 362, 392, 371. I don't know, if you go state-wise and do a back-of-the-envelope calculation, you're on saturation point in many states. It is impossible to believe that you'll repeat the saturation point. If you reduce, I calculated on one state-by-state saturation point analysis, about 70 seats you reduce. But you make up compensatory seats in about 20. But where are all the other compensatory seats coming from? Now, what is happening in these surveys is that you are giving
Mr. Singhvi,
the sweep to a state and you are repeating the saturation. I don't accept that.
But Mr. Singhvi, just look at the data we have. Just look at the baseline. Of the 224, amongst all the seats, 224 of the seats that the BJP won in 2019, they won by more than 50%, more than 50% vote share. That tells you a story.
That is true.
That tells you where the BJP was starting from and where the India Alliance was starting from.
I believe our biggest challenge is that we are making up a lot of lost ground, but the percentages are so far apart from the previous elections that it's not becoming easy to bridge that gap. There I agree with you. That can be the only reason for this defeat. But otherwise, even the polls which I'm not accepting are giving a significant increase in the vote percentages in almost every state to the India Alliance. I refuse to believe that you will have sweeps of the kind
you have just accepted defeat
in Chhattisgarh, MP, and Gujarat. I refuse to believe that it's just not possible to have that kind of sweep.
You have just accepted defeat.
No. On the contrary, for the last 5 minutes, you look like I'm accepting defeat. It's depressing to read, if you have a debate.
That's exactly what you said. You used the word, I didn't.
Which one? No, I said that if you take the figure as they
my last question to you.
They're depressing. But I'm not accepting the figures. I'm just telling you state-wise why those figures can't be correct. I said they're depressing as given. But that is certainly not the truth because you are repeating 29 out of 29, 28 out of 28, 25 out of 25. How is it possible that you'll make at the worst a gain of 8 seats or 7 seats in Rajasthan and 0 in Madhya Pradesh, 0 in Chhattisgarh, 0 in Gujarat? You will make a gain in Bihar, but you will make, and look at the Haryana figures. Even the BJP in Haryana itself is crying. They are worried. And you are giving figures, Haryana, that you'll get 2-3 seats, the India Alliance. Therefore, I think
Acha,
this is really, you know, a bit of a
Okay,
too
Mr.
much of a
Singhvi.
gung-ho situation.
Okay, so we had Mr. Khera on the show 20 minutes back. He called all these exit polls Sarkari exit polls. We'll see if they bear out on the 4th. My last question to you is, if you believe the India alliance is winning, because the alliance today stepped out and said they're getting 295 seats, can I please ask you then who your prime ministerial candidate is?
No, first of
Jeet rahe hain,
all,
according to you, you're winning. So if you win, you'll
very-
have to put a prime minister in place.
two very clear answers. One, they spent the whole day today. They didn't spend 5 minutes in the meeting of the India Alliance. And they went down state-wise, region-wise, area-wise. And then they came up with the 290-95 figure. They also, therefore, you know, applied their mind. So it's not a, you know, a rabbit out of the hat figure, not a 400 ke Paar kind of figure of Modi ji. Second, we have said again, and it's a very obvious thing, this is a futile debate. If you have been patient for the last 7 phases over 2 months, what's the point of a debate on prime ministerial candidate when there's an alliance in front of you? The alliance sat very happily today, harmoniously, and discussed everything. And they will not be able to choose a PM candidate on Monday, on Tuesday, you think? 100% they will be. This is only a BJP red herring to try and divert the debate. The
on
debate,
4th as well.
It will depend very much on the figures of each party. It will depend on consensus. It will depend on harmony. And you'll have it. If you waited so long, wait for 48 or 72 hours more.
Okay. Mr. Singhvi, we hope to see you on the 4th as well. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Thanks very much. Good night. Have a good day. Let's, ladies and gentlemen, get back to the state of Maharashtra. Quick point there, as I said, Maharashtra, it seems, I mean, actually the numbers that have been put out, Ruhi, have, they aren't giving us a clear picture. Can we have the Maharashtra numbers back again, please, on our screens? 48 seats here. The BJP-led NDA had won 41 seats in 2019. Look at the numbers on our screens right now. Not giving us a very clear picture. But Chandrasekhar Jha, you're joining us from the Shiva Sena, spokesperson of the UBT faction. Anything to say on the numbers on our screens?
See, these numbers are usually underestimated. And if you see the real picture in Maharashtra, we are winning more than 35 seats in our Gathbandhan. And in Maharashtra, the political situation has completely changed within 2.5 years. The kind of nonsensical government is being run, and how the corruption has erupted, the recent Pune accident case, and everything which has happened in Maharashtra has conclusively cleared out the air, and it has given a pure majority to Mahagathbandhan.
No, that majority is not being reflected anywhere on our screens. Would you want to come in here, Nilanjan? That, I mean, see, the India numbers are not looking bad.
Oh, I was looking at the overall pictures. Something is not adding up at this stage. We are talking about Maharashtra, where some polls are saying about the NDA losing votes from losing seats from the 2019 mark. Also in Karnataka, they're losing something. Mr. Singhvi talked about 2019, the BJP reaching a saturation point in a large number of states. So my question is, which I would actually try to understand as we go into the program and more data comes in, where are the additional seats for the BJP coming from? From what it appears, you know, that if they are winning something around 350 plus NDA seats, you know, and obviously they're going beyond 303. Where are they coming from? We have to actually understand. So, at the moment, it does not look to me very plausible that in states like Kerala and Tamil Nadu, the BJP would be doing spectacularly.
No,
there is
one seat, 1-2 is the prediction if you look at the numbers.
You know, if we are actually willing to give a concession of 1-2 seats in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, you know, we'll have to, at this stage, we are all talking about hypothetical numbers. So we'll also have to look at it that 1-2 seats can also further decrease in other states. You know, those are things, you know, which
you are asking.
There are more polls coming in. So I guess that we need more figures to get a comprehensive view as to what is really happening. At the moment, we are looking at just 4 or 5 polls.
You know, I want to go to Odisha next, but Susiben wants to speak right now because we were talking about Maharashtra.
Sure.
Maybe Odisha is where that's where the BJP was hoping to get its get extra seats from. Odisha, Bengal is
small seat, you know, 21 seats in Odisha.
So let's see how much they have.
Much scope, you know, they may increase by 2, 3, 4.
Bengal as well. So Susiben, go ahead please, and then I'm going to go to Odisha.
A very good evening and Jai Maharashtra to everyone. Let me tell all the present, my colleagues and friends in the political sphere, and especially Mr. Bopari, that exit polls is an art, lot of hard work, and therefore it is not some whims and fancies or fascist mindset that Mr. Bopari makes out to be. It is an art, it's a science, and therefore we must give due credence to all the exit polls, and you should be a sportsman. Now, coming back to Maharashtra, let me tell you this about Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, we were fighting, we were all ready to work for 45 par. 400 par will be the Maharashtra will pave way to 400 par. And I'll tell you how and why. As far as the NCP is concerned, we have the ghadi, we have the symbol. As far as Shiv Sena is concerned, we have the bow and the arrow. So we have the jhanda and we have an agenda. As far as the Gadbandhan, the Maha Aghadi, should I call it Bigadi, is concerned, where are the footfalls? Where are the foot soldiers? Let me tell you, Shreya, with a lot of responsibility, they didn't have any booth workers. Electioneering is an art, and that electioneering art is mastered by the BJP Shiv Sena. Lastly, I would like to also tell you this, that
Okay.
as far as the chemistry, how this is a UT, as you rightly say. When does the UT starts acting on ground? When there is a chemistry between all the parties, we share ideology. We have 25 years history with BJP. Therefore, the BJP supporter or the Shiv Sena
Okay.
supporter will vote for the lotus or for the bow and arrow. Do you think? I am telling you with a lot of confidence,
Okay.
no Shiv Sainik will ever vote for the Congress. And therefore, there is no chemistry. And that is the
Okay.
reason, while the Maharashtra numbers are not looking
You
so
know,
good, let me
of
tell you
what I
this.
see,
Let me tell you this.
Susi Ben,
last
honestly, what I see on the screens is this. So what I see on the screens is this. I'm just going by the data that is in front of me. What I'm
Absolutely.
seeing on the screens is the khichdi that Maharashtra politics is right now. That is what is on our screens.
But
I want to
khichdi,
take a look
as
at
far
the
as we are
numbers that
concerned,
are
there is
coming
no
to us from
khichdi.
Odisha.
It's the
As I said,
ideological. Allow me to Shreya complete this. The
Acha.
khichdi part. It has been too much in
Of
the
course, there's so
discussion.
much khichdi. The two
No, no,
regional
but let me
parties
come.
have split.
As far as Mahayuti is
Two
concerned,
regional parties
there
have
is no
split.
khichdi.
Families have
No, as
split.
far as Mahayuti is concerned, there is no. We were ideological partners for 25 years, for heaven's sake. It was the UBT who has made a khichdi, who's signed up with Congress, with NCP, where their own Vandaniya Balasaheb Thackeray said, "Ke bhaiya, over my dead body, I'll ever align with the Congress party." Therefore, it is not khichdi. Khichdi is with Maha Agadi,
ठीक है,
which is
चलिए.
absolute Maha Bigadi at the moment. So, as far as we are concerned, Maha Yuti is concerned,
Okay.
we are surging forward relentlessly, effortlessly, and you will see safety, security, development,
ठीक है,
and
ठीक है.
Mahila Shakti will pave way
Okay.
for 45 parts in Maharashtra. Trust me, Priya, I'm a groundswell worker. I work on the ground.
Haven't exactly covered, no, the government hasn't exactly covered itself in glory the way it has dealt with the Pune Porsche accident. But that's a story for another time. Quickly looking at Odisha, 21 seats, ladies and gentlemen, in Odisha. The BJD, remember that there has been a simultaneous assembly poll here as well. The BJD, as far as Lok Sabha seats are concerned, had 12 last time. And the BJP had 8, about 38% of the vote share was the BJP's. Ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at your screens right now. It seems the numbers have flipped. Times now, ETG, giving the BJP 13. The BJP had 8 last time, as I said. Today's Chanakya, ladies and gentlemen, on your screens now, giving the BJP 16. India TV, CNX 15 to 17, and D Dynamic 13. The BJD's numbers are down from 12 to 8, 4 to 6, 8, which means all exit polls right now are telling us that the BJD's numbers are down. You were talking about where the BJP is going to get extra seats from if there has been saturation in some states. It seems Odisha.
Well, it looks like that they are actually, if they are getting seats from eastern India and also from southern India, if you actually go by it, then the BJP is actually poised to become truly a national party, which had not been so far. It is actually able to cross the threshold, beyond what it had got in 2019. If we take these figures as what will come on the 4th of June, so we have to accept it that yes, this is actually BJP's coming of, becoming a national party.
And we haven't taken a look at Bengal's numbers because...
We haven't yet.
And I am led to believe that Bengal's numbers are very interesting as well. And they are not good news for the TMC. They are not, I mean, they were close last time, I remember, 18 and 21.
In fact, in Bengal, the big question is that there has been a talk about the resurgence of the left there. So whether it has harmed the TMC
Correct.
or harmed the BJP, something that we have to see.
Okay, so you know what we are going to do? We are going to pause here. I think we've got the larger picture, the larger numbers. We've got two key battleground states of Maharashtra and Odisha out of the way. Next, we are looking at southern states. Three states, importantly, we are looking at Karnataka, we are looking at Kerala, and we are looking at Tamil Nadu, ladies and gentlemen, and we are trying to see if the BJP has actually managed to breach the southern bastion. That's coming up. The numbers are coming up. Do stay with us. A very quick break for the moment. Exit polls keeping all of us busy and hopefully all of you entertained as well. We've taken a look at the overall picture, which is giving the BJP-led NDA a clear mandate in this election. I think that question as to who's winning this election has been settled. Of course, a final word only on the 4th. We are now looking at the southern bastions, the southern states, and I'm going to start three states that we'll be looking at closely: Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh as well, ladies and gentlemen, because there has been a simultaneous assembly election here as well. Welcoming my guests, GS Prashant, the spokesperson of the BJP, continues to be with us. Aadil is spokesperson of the Congress. Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay is a senior journalist, and Ruhi Tewari, senior journalist, continue to be with us as well. Thank you all very much. Let's start with the numbers that are coming to us from Karnataka, ladies and gentlemen. 2019, there are 28 seats, first of all, in Karnataka. Let's quickly put in the numbers on our screens. 28 seats here. In 2019, the BJP had 25, the Congress had 1, and the JDS had 1. What are things looking like right now? Well, it seems, by the looks of it, the Congress has managed to increase its numbers by a bit, but the NDA continues to hold strong. Almost every poll, every exit poll, starting from the Times Now ETG, all the way to News 18, giving them at least 23 and a maximum of 26. I mean, if you call this an improvement, I don't know. Maybe maybe not.
I would say that this is a great surprise, coming that it comes after last year's assembly election, where the Congress did so well and virtually swept.
But that's how Indian elections are, right? A state voters vote very differently in Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections.
They vote differently, but it only shows, that what we are talking about, that there was a wave, at least in Karnataka there was a wave in favor of the BJP and Mr. Modi, which nobody was able to see. None of the reporting which came from Karnataka talked about this kind of a sweep by the BJP.
But wasn't it expected, given given last time's numbers, given the fact that look, there is no constant narrative across the country. But again, as we started this show by saying, was this election about, do you want Modi as Prime Minister or do you not want him as Prime Minister?
Right.
And it seems by the look of it, in Karnataka, people want him as the Prime Minister. Maybe they don't want a BJP guy as the Chief Minister, but they want him as the Prime Minister.
Right, so disclaimer, Shreya, I didn't travel to Karnataka. I can only comment based on the exit poll figures. But, the larger point is what Sir was pointing out about last year's assembly elections. People vote very differently. We saw in 2018, the three heartland states, the Congress won, but going forward in the Lok Sabha, the BJP swept those states, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh. So, I don't think assembly elections are any longer a pointer of what the voters are thinking as far as Lok Sabha elections are concerned. In Karnataka, if these are the figures, then I think the Congress would be disappointed. It has a sitting government. It is in power. It seems to be doing decent work. So these figures should be a jolt to the Congress if they are true. If the BJP actually does this well, it's a jolt to the Congress.
Do we have a Congress spokesperson here? Aadil, are you with us on the show?
I can hear you, Shreya.
All right. Aadil, would you want to respond to the numbers? Hi, good evening, Aadil. Can you just respond to the numbers on our screens? This is Karnataka. This is where you have a chief minister. This is where you did very, very well in assembly elections. Is this a vote of no confidence in the Congress party then in Karnataka?
Well, I think the most optimistic BJP leader or worker from Karnataka will be gleefully shocked and surprised by what the exit polls are predicting. Because internally, their own feedback was that they're not entering double digits, that they'll be under 8. So I'm actually quite surprised. And I reiterate, Shreya, the fact of the matter is that the exit polls are 180 degrees contrary to the feedback and the voice on the ground. The voice on the ground was very different. And this is surprising because I don't think even the most benign, considerate analyst or somebody who follows politics closely would predict this kind of numbers for the BJP in Karnataka during the course of the elections. Karnataka is a very important state. Lots of reporters, analysts had traveled across Karnataka. So therefore, these numbers are shocking to say the least. Our own feedback suggests that the Congress is likely to get anything between 18 to 22. But these numbers, to be very honest, are indeed very shocking. And I repeat, I think the 4th of June is going to throw up some very, very surprising numbers, significantly in favor of the India alliance.
Okay, but Adil, that cannot be your response to every question. That all the numbers on our screens are an overstatement.
I must tell
and
you,
what will happen on the 4th is going to be very different. I'll ask you 4 more questions on 4 more states. Is this what you're going to tell me every time?
Shreya, I'll be very honest with you. The exit poll numbers are contrary to our feedback and the voice on the ground. This is the reality. And I'm not saying this because this is the party
Mr.
position.
Prashant.
This is the reality on the ground.
Equally surprised.
GS Prashant, spokesperson of the BJP.
Yes, Shreya, I'm equally surprised like the Congress spokesperson is, for the reason that I'm wondering how is Congress even getting more than 1 seat? In fact, it should be 0 because last time they held 1 seat, which was Bangalore rural, and this time they're going to lose that seat very badly. So I'm equally surprised, if not more, as to if somebody has given them 3 seats. Congress must be really happy saying, look, we're getting 3 and increase from 1 to 3. What a percentage increase for Congress. They should be really happy and celebrate that somebody is giving them 3 seats in Karnataka. At no point in time they were even close in numbers, because for the last 20 years, it's very clear Karnataka has given clear mandate to BJP when it comes to Lok Sabha polls. Take 2014, take 2019, go back to 2009 when UPA got many seats across India, but Karnataka still was in favor of BJP. Even in 2004, we got 18 seats, even when Congress formed the government in center, which means for the last 20 years, people of Karnataka are very clear. They've always wanted a BJP prime minister. For the first 10 years, it could not happen. From 2014 till 29 and probably till 2034, they're very clear that they're going to have a BJP prime minister at the helm. So therefore, these numbers do not reflect far from reality. In fact, we are expecting 1 or 2 more, saying that Congress will lose badly even where they have given some polls in favor of them. So definitely it's not something to cheer for Congress. Congress should be happy that they are getting 3 seats. Somebody is giving them 3. Let them celebrate that. And in fact, we are introspecting as to on what basis is somebody
glass
not
half
giving
full or glass
27?
half empty? नहीं अब Mr. Prashant, you can say all 28 seats we are going to win. आप मतलब अभी तो कुछ भी बोलने के लिए बोल दीजिए, but it seems that you've managed to keep at least 25 seats. At least that is what exit polls are telling us. And for the Congress, I don't know, glass half empty, glass half full. Because if you take a look at the numbers, definitely more than 1 last time. But yes, the fact is that you have a ruling government, a Congress government in Karnataka, and despite that, these are the numbers on your screens. That's Karnataka, ladies and gentlemen. Let's also move on to this. अरे रुक जाइए, अभी केरला भी बचा है और तमिलनाडु भी बचा है. Just
the glass which is being shown by the pollsters is a mirage. It doesn't exist. That's the irony. No. It is all a mirage.
चलिए ठीक है.
जून 4 400 पार. जून 4 400 पार.
400 पार तो आपके नहीं हो रहे मिस्टर प्रशांत. 400 पार तो नहीं हो रहे आपके. ये तो आप लिख लीजिए. No exit poll is giving you 400 par.
Shreya, hope sees
Prime Minister Modi himself said he had thrown a googly.
Impossible.
हाँ.
Jan Ki Baat is giving 392. ठीक है. 392 is very close to 400. We may somehow scrape through. 392 is very close to 400. We must scrape through. And India is what, getting 140 seats across.
Hi,
We are
Mr.
optimistic.
Prashant.
We are optimistic, Shreya. Come on. You can't tell me I can't be optimistic
अभी
today.
you are winning तो कुछ भी बोल लीजिए आप.
No, no.
अच्छा
See,
ठीक
I'm
है, ठीक है.
optimistic
There is
about
some
it.
reason to be optimistic in two other states. Mr. Prashant, I'm giving you some good news. अरे रुक जाइए,
Yes.
some good news for you only. If you
Okay.
wait for a moment, some good news for you, and it is
Okay.
coming to you from the states of Tamil Nadu and from the state of Kerala. Where do we start with? I think we should start with the state of Tamil Nadu because the Prime Minister has worked very hard in the state of Tamil Nadu, doing multiple rallies here. There was that entire Sanatan Rao that played out. Let's quickly take a look at numbers here. 39 seats in the state of Tamil Nadu. Guys, can we just put the numbers out? 39 seats in the state of Kerala, of Tamil Nadu, I beg your pardon. The DMK had swept the elections in 2019. They had won 38 seats. They didn't have competition essentially. How are things looking like right now? DMK is in alliance with India, NDA, which means, just take a look at the numbers again. It seems if I just quickly do an average, they have done fairly decently, but it's the NDA, more specifically the BJP, that by the looks of it is opening its account in the state of Tamil Nadu. Possibly opening its account in the state of Tamil Nadu. Ruhi, would you want to come in here?
Well, if you see these numbers, if on an average it seems the India alliance is expectedly going to do well.
Yeah.
It's sweeping this election. If the BJP does open its account in Tamil Nadu, it's another bastion breached. Shreya, why are you not talking about the state in the south that is the most interesting, Telangana? That is actually the state to look out for in this election.
And actually Andhra as well. We'll just
Andhra,
come
given
to
the state assembly figures.
And very interesting figures, just by the way. Very interesting figures. We'll come to that in just a bit. But I quickly want to take a look at Tamil Nadu as well. I know many of us can say, "Arey, ye to done deal tha." We knew that the India alliance will do well. But the question was, is the BJP, after all the mehnat that they have done, going to open their account in the state? Very clearly, by the looks of it, they are.
So on an average, 2 seats is what, if you look at an average. Yeah.
On an average, 2 seats. Nilanjan, anything you want to say, and then I'll move on to Kerala.
No, I think, if this poll is correct, then they definitely are breaking in there, and that is a very interesting development.
Okay.
Which must be accepted that possibly the trip which Mr. Modi took through Tamil Nadu before the inauguration of the Ram temple and then the subsequent campaign and even the Sanatan controversy worked in their favor, though I would be very perplexed given the background of backward caste politics in Tamil Nadu for the Sanatan Dharm issue to reap electoral dividends for the BJP is a very perplexing thing. But then if it happens, we really have to go and study it.
Okay, let's take a look at another southern bastion. This is Kerala, ladies and gentlemen. 20 seats here. In 2019, the Congress-led UPA had won 19 seats. What's the situation like right now? How's the BJP doing? I think that is something that should interest all of us. Just take a look at your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Look at how the NDA is doing. The UDF sweeping these elections by the looks of it. So that's very good news for the Congress party. At the least, 15 seats, maximum 19 out of 20. So that's a very good number. Clearly means that in Kerala, the Congress is in pole position. But what about the NDA? What about the BJP? Well, they are opening their account by the looks of it, Ruhi. Again, you have to give it to them. They don't stop trying.
No, they don't stop trying.
They don't stop trying, yeah.
That's something I realized a long time ago when BJP managed to win Assam the way it did, because if a state like Assam, and I'm from Assam, so I can tell you that if in a state like that the BJP can make such inroads, I don't think there's any stopping them. In Kerala, I'm most interested in knowing if these figures are true, what is the seat that the BJP is winning? Because that seat is very interesting, where Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar is pitted against Mr. Shashi Tharoor, and that is the seat that I think everybody is looking at. So that would be the interesting thing to see what happens in that seat.
We don't have a seat-wise breakup right now. Hopefully by tomorrow there will be some seat-wise breakup, but today I think it's overall numbers.
Right.
And the overall numbers are looking good for the BJP. It's looking very good for the NDA. GS Prashant, before I move on to Andhra Pradesh, where the results are fabulously delicious, any comments? Congratulations, first of all, if these numbers hold, well done.
Definitely in Tamil Nadu, Prime Minister's outreach and Annamalai's local leadership there have helped build the cadre also. So we must not forget that what was BJP 5 or 7 years ago in Tamil Nadu. We might have been winning 1 or 2 seats here and there. But as a cadre-based party, we did not have so much support. Now it is emerged, and our vote share will definitely be in double digits in Tamil Nadu. And I would definitely go with whatever they're saying, that about 5 seats in Tamil Nadu. Definitely yes. And coming to Kerala, where we were not able to break the left bastion for long. Now that there is a serious challenge and BJP is also setting up its cadre there, in the days to come, in Kerala also we'll have good results. And now this is the beginning. Remember, we had 2 seats in Lok Sabha in 1984, and in 40 years we are expecting 400. So therefore, we always try, we ensure that we play a long game. We don't want to run away from any state. Even though we lose, we have consistently tried and ensured to build up base there to continue to win. And like you said, Andhra, I'm also waiting for the numbers. I'm sure we will get an average of 15 to 17 seats as NDA in Andhra. I'm pretty sure that the TDP, Janasena and BJP combined are going to form the government at the state level there. And in the center, Andhra would give us fabulous numbers. I'm sure the numbers you're going to put out will be in the range what I've told you.
चलिए देखते हैं. Okay, so let's see. Adil, give me a moment here because I want to put out Andhra's numbers. Guys, do we have Andhra's numbers? Can we quickly put them on the screens? As I said, simultaneous elections in Andhra Pradesh. It was also voting for its chief minister. It was also voting for its assembly. Just take a look at the numbers, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, can I just, these are the, these are 25 Lok Sabha seats. The NDA has done fabulously well. 21, the least they are getting is 18. The maximum they are going up to is 25. So that's the NDA as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's put out the assembly election results because these are very, very interesting. Again, seem to be matching with the mood of the Lok Sabha voter. It seems that the YSRCP has been routed. If we have the numbers, I want you to put them on our screens. As far as the assembly election is concerned, it seems that the YSRCP has been routed, reduced to 14, and the NDA is at 161. The NDA is at 161. Hafiz Khan, you're an MLA of the YSRCP. You're joining us this evening. Any comments? The YSRCP completely routed in the state of Andhra Pradesh.
They may not have a voice to talk.
Cannot hear me, I guess.
YSR has lost its voice today.
अरे नहीं ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे? नहीं, why is that?
You'll have
That's
network
not fair,
connectivity.
but since he can't hear me, you go ahead.
Network connectivity now. You'll have network connectivity. He won't be able to connect. Let's see.
No.
We know YSR, how they function.
Go ahead. You speak. Then if he can't, you might as well step in.
We know how Jagan has ruled and spoiled Andhra for 5 years now. So even if you ask a small child on the road, he would say, I would want change. Which means he has realized that what state Andhra has gone to now. From being touted as one of the best investment favored destinations to having completely pothole ridden roads and zero governance and 100% corruption. It is YSR again should be happy that they're getting some 14 seats in the assembly. He was thinking of 175. People actually thought they did not want to even give one to YSR and wanted to give 175 to NDA. Probably somewhere people have been a little considerate saying, okay, thoda bahut de denge, opposition thoda bahut chahiye. So they're giving some 14 seats, which is why I'm sure the YSR would not even want to acknowledge this because they know the deep-rooted corruption Jagan Mohan Reddy is under. Forgetting the past of his corruption, even now, the tainted allegations, and I'm sure my friend from TDP would be able to throw more light on the local politics there and as to why TDP, BJP and Janasena would surely win.
Mr. Komareddy, it seems congratulations are in order. As far as exit polls are concerned, YSRCP has been completely routed, both in the assembly and in the Lok Sabha elections. Were you expecting this?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. See, these results are not surprising.
Here's the thing.
Results are not at all. They are not at all surprising for us. These are in the expected lines. And the people in Andhra Pradesh have been waiting to press button to throw out this dictator called Jagan Reddy, in whose hands they have been suffering very badly from the past 5 years. The state of Andhra Pradesh is suffering in the clutches of a dictator, in the clutches of a tyrant called Jagan Reddy. So today the people have given their verdict, and these results are not at all surprising for us. And we strongly believe that the YSRCP, it might not be surprising if the YSRCP is reduced to a single-digit number. Because as my friend Prashant was saying, the brand image of AP is completely destroyed by Jagan Reddy. Andhra Pradesh once used to be a favorite destination for investments. Today, Andhra Pradesh had been made into a drug capital by Jagan Reddy. Wherever you find drugs in the country, you find the address from Andhra Pradesh. So a state of Andhra Pradesh had been made a drug capital, a capital of ganja, a capital of sandalwood smugglers. So that is how Jagan Reddy had completely destroyed. Andhra Pradesh ranks number 2 in farmer suicides. Andhra Pradesh ranks number 1 in unemployment in graduates. In whatever parameter you take, Andhra Pradesh is at the bottom today. You look at the FDIs in the past 5 years. In the past 5 years, the FDIs that have come into Andhra Pradesh are almost zero. We are I think in the 24th or 25th position in FDIs. There is no employment. So that is why the anger of the people is shown today, is reflecting today in the exit polls, and that is why you are seeing. I am not surprised, and my friend Mr. Prashant also will not be surprised. The NDA will sweep.
He wasn't. I just want to hear from the YSRCP, but their guest is not through. Acha, theek hai. Ab Professor Madhav Nalapat is with us as well, but before that, Ruhi wants to come in. Ruhi, go ahead.
Yeah, just very quickly, Shreya, because the Andhra Pradesh results throw up a very interesting conversation. We do know that voters vote very differently in state elections and Lok Sabha, etc. But in this case, what we don't know is how voters vote when these elections are simultaneous. We have very few examples of that, which is Orissa and Andhra Pradesh. I don't know the Orissa figures right now. And this leads us to an important conversation, which is for a later day, as this country talks about simultaneous elections and what impact that would have when it comes to national and state politics, because this is something which is interesting. I mean, this leads us to this larger conversation going forward.
Before I let you go, I know that you are writing a book on women voters in this country. There is one poll, and I think it's the Republic's exit poll, which is also saying that in many seats, in most seats, women who have voted, more than 50% have voted for Modi, not for BJP, not for anyone else, but for Modi. Is that what you saw on the ground as well? They're a big Bharati group, I understand that, but is that only it ki free ration de raha hai, cylinder kam paise mein de raha ho? Is there more to it?
I would say that that PM Modi remains very popular among women. That's a huge constituency for him.
Across north to south, east to west?
Yes. I have seen his popularity among women from Tripura to Rajasthan and, in the heartland, in Telangana, which I was talking about earlier, very interesting state again. So I think, it's because there is a conversation that the PM is trying to have directly with women in terms of what he's offering to them. Now other parties are also doing it, so it's becoming a more national phenomenon. But Labharti, yes, is one thing. But there is another aspect to why perhaps, that's a sense I get, women like PM Modi. It's because they look at him as a kind of protector, right? This entire national security image, and that plays at a more subconscious level. I would say the more obvious thing for them is other welfare delivery benefits, but there is a certain connect they feel with him as a family elder, as someone who's going to protect the family. That is something a lot of women, I feel, which has given him an edge as far as the women voters are concerned.
And would you say it is these women voters, along with young people in this country, that is propelling his win, his third win?
That would be unfair, because it's then we are trying to say that men, and particularly not younger men, are not voting in the Prime Minister's favor. And I don't want to get into that kind of divisions. But I would reiterate that the youth and women remain a very, very key constituency for the Prime Minister, and he knows it, because a lot of schemes that he launches and the way he implements schemes are also very much in women's favor. I think he knows that, so he's doing it.
But here's the thing, before I let you go. Many people can argue that Jagan's schemes for women were great as well.
Absolutely. I mean,
Fabulous.
Look, I'll just give you again, I'll come back to Telangana. KCR schemes were very, very pro-women. However, at this point in Telangana, so many women are rooting for Modi. Why is that? I mean, for that, I think I would leave it to the audiences to read my book, because if I say everything right now, nobody's going to read my book. So I'm going to leave a little bit to be said in my book on women voters.
When's your book out?
Hopefully by the end of this year. It's with Juggernaut Publishers.
So best of luck with your book.
Thank you,
thank you
Shreya.
very much for coming all the way to this studio.
Entirely.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you on the 4th as well.
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we are slipping into a quick break on the show. Top of 9, this is what we are doing. We'll give you an overall picture, and then we'll go to the Hindi heartland states, which really propelled the BJP's victory. That's coming up. Just give us 2 minutes with this break.
Co-presented by Amazing Spaces के लिए Green